What's up, y'all? It's your girl Amanda, and we are back with another episode of Mandy's Entertainment Reviews. So, for this episode, we are recording for the first episode of this new show. It's on HBO called DTF St. Louis. If you have not watched it yet, if you have cable, you can catch it on demand on HBO. But if you have HBO Max, it is the first episode is still on there. So how they're doing it, I think they're doing like the week by week basis for HBO. It was released in March of 2026, so again, it's the first episode. So I just watched it, and it's starring. A, to me, it has one familiar name to the show, which is Jason Bateman. Now, the show is called DTF St. Louis, right? I want to know what's crazy is Jason Bateman played a suburban dad in Ozark who moved from Chicago to the Ozarks in Missouri. So I guess, whoever created the show was like, Marty Byrne. Let's put him as like one of the main characters in another St. Louis show. So I was like, oh, I caught that when I first started watching it. Other names in the show is David Harbour. Now, I'm not familiar with that name, but I did my research. He was actually in Stranger Things. See, I'm not a fan of Stranger Things. My boyfriend is. He likes that show, so he probably knows who he is. And also Linda Cardellin. Never heard of that name, but she's one of the main characters as well. So I did watch the first episode, and in the beginning of each like new show or whatever in the first season, I'm gonna keep my first episode review very short because with writing and TV shows, you just never know what the twists and turns. So I did enjoy the first episode. It was it kept my attention, but it was very vague. Like, we don't know where these characters come from. We don't know nothing about their backgrounds. We just are introduced to okay, here's this one character they meet on the job, because Jason Bateman's character was a not a meteorologist, but I think like a news reporter or something. So they meet on the job, and then boom, next thing you know, okay, here's this app where you can like have sex with people. Like, it went boom, boom, boom. You know. So it's set in St. Louis, but I actually found out it was actually filmed in Atlanta. But it just looks so Midwest to me. It looks Midwest, very Midwest. Um, you know, nice house, family life. I even noticed I think in David Harbour's character Floyd, I think they used like Great Value groceries, which is like, honestly, to me, I think is a super Midwest thing because I mean, well, Walmart is kind of like nationwide or whatever, but I know some people who live in the South that are like super bougie. They don't use Great Value, but us folk, working class folk in the Midwest, we love us some Great Value. So I think Great Value to me is Midwest. So like I said before, it was vague, lack of backstory, but you know what? It's a lot more episodes coming. Probably it's gonna have like 8 or 9 episodes. So I think their backstories is gonna unravel along with like the mystery of the death of the show, of the character in the show, I should say. I don't want to say death of the show because the show's getting canceled. Well, actually, it's not. It's actually a limited series. So I think what they mean by that with the limited series is, okay, here's the story. It's gonna be one season. Figure it out from there, and it's gonna be a HBO original. Okay. So as you guys, if you ever guys listen to my old TV review podcast, you guys know I do the first episode for one episode of the podcast, and then as I watch along, I'll probably add more characters, and then at the end, I'll do the conclusion. So this episode is just basically like the characters and the prediction. So for this show, we only kind of got introduced to a small amount of characters. So first, we have Clark Forrest, who is the guy who works on TV. So my prediction for Clark is that he's going to be involved in Floyd's murder in some way, and then he's going to have a disastrous affair through the app. Now, what I also thought about, and I didn't add this to my notes, is Clark is it's gonna blow up in Clark's face work wise, because when you're on TV, especially in a big city. I mean, to me, St. Louis is not big like Chicago, but it is kind of a major city. Everybody's gonna know about it. It's gonna be all over the news. So he's probably gonna be like the talk of the town in a way of a scandal as well. So the next character we have is Floyd. That's the character who dies, right? So he died in the beginning. They found him in the like at the local pool locker room or so, and he was just dead. Like he probably dropped dead from a heart attack or something. But what I think is, because obviously he's dead, he's not going to be like in the ensemble in every scene or something. I think he's going to haunt Clark throughout the show, like his like on regular TV shows, and in the corner the ghost of the character that's dead will just pop up and talk to them. At first it'll be scary, but then, they'll probably be used to it and like converse with them as well. The next character we have is Carol. So Carol is the lady that the both gentlemen, I guess, has an affair with. Well, not with Clark. I think Carol will have an affair with Clark, but she will have a super dirty secret of her own that just might, change the game, in my opinion. Detective Donahue. So Detective Donahue, if you watch the show, is the older white detective, and my prediction is that he's just gonna have opposite thoughts of Officer Plum. And Officer Plum is the younger lady who is like more kind of millennial, and she'll bring like her millennial beliefs to the office. Remember in the first episode, she says she's sex positive. I'm a millennial too. I've never heard of that, so it must be something new. And it could, in Detective Donahue, he could be a boomer. So you know how society feels about these boomers these days. So, they'll, Detective Donahue will have like his boomer logic, and she'll have the millennial logic to figure out how Floyd died. And lastly, because again, we were only introduced to the first five characters, and the more characters that come about, the more I'll add on. Richard. Richard is Lloyd's stepson. So in the first episode, he's kind of like a troublemaker, throwing rocks at Clark's house and stuff. My prediction is that he might start acting up more after his death. So he'll probably get like deeper into some trouble. I have a feeling like 50% he'll probably be involved in Lloyd's death as well in some shape or form. But Clark and Richard, I think, will be involved in Lloyd's death. But yeah, this was just the first episode. I do give the first episode a 5 out of 5. The writing is good, the setting is good. So I cannot wait to, you know, review the rest of the show. And thank y'all for listening. I know it's not that long, but stay tuned. All right, peace.